Hey Mark, Rob Wild, Swing Vision Pro. Wanted to get your video out to you so you have some information to work on. First of all, I want to compliment you on the great amount of improvement that you've made. I can tell you put in a lot of work and it's paying off for you. There are some things that we need to work on and concentrate on, and we'll do that during your final few lessons here. You said you were shooting upper 80s. I think with a couple of corrections and a little bit more instruction, we can get you into the 70s for sure. Okay? So stick with me, keep working, and we're going to get her done. Okay? All right. So, first of all, what I'm going to do here, this is when you came in this morning, and I'm going to let this run for maybe one, maybe two swings. I may stop and interject, or I may just let it run and then come back and talk about stuff. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to let it run for a couple of swings. Here we go. Nice, right down the middle. Nice. Okay, stop you. Now we're going to come back. Let's get all the way back here. Let me get you into your first one here. Okay. These are the improvements I want to show you first and foremost. Okay. Is our knee flex is beautiful. Very, very nice. If I come to your knee and come straight down, we are on the balls of our feet. Exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Talked about this over and over again. To make any kind of athletic move, we're nice and set up right there. Okay. Then I'm going to take a look at the spine angle. And now look what I've got for spine angle. I'd like to see this little area right here disappear. Let me put that in green. And all this is, Mark, right here, is just at the last moment, raise your chin just a little bit. Okay? It's still hanging down just a tad, but look how much nice. I mean, remember that funky thing we had going on with like 8 different angles? Okay, so I'm going to move step by step here. When we get back to the halfway back position, stop you right here. Okay, it's nice, but what we started to do right here and what I've noticed is we've got a little cup going on in our wrist. Okay, what that's going to do is open up that club face, which means at some point we're going to have to reroute it. Okay, as far as alignment geometrically, we're right down the target line. Okay, but we've got an open club face, which is going to be accentuated once we get to the top of our backswing, which we're going to have to make a manipulation along the line to square that back up again. So I'm going to take you step by step. Good looking position. Need to get that wrist cup out of there. Okay. Get to the top here. Okay. We're overswinging just a little bit. I'm going to send you that picture of Ricky Fowler so you can see how he's tucked in, number one. I'm seeing just a little too much air under here between your arm. And then we're getting a little bit too much of a bend. And what that tells me is we're still blocking a little bit. And what I mean by that, if I show you again, your shoulder level is here when your chin level is here. Okay? I need those reversed. And if we can move that head back against that red line right there, then we're going to be in a lot better position. Okay? So I'm going to come back to the top. Okay. Now you've kind of corrected this a little bit. Let me get some of this out of the way. You stayed in your knee flex. Beautiful. Remember, we used to be stepping up out of that urine. That's beautiful. You stayed right in it. You're at the top of your backswing, and you stayed right in it. I want to get this left arm a little straighter, and by doing that, we need to tuck this right arm in a little bit and get this arm straighter, and then you've made some corrections, but if I highlight the top of your backswing, if I highlight that club, you'll see it's open, okay? And that's from the wrist cock. So, I mean, from the, actually, you buckling your wrist or bowing your wrist inside, and that's that little angle that we created. So what we're doing is we're getting to a point where I'd like you to abbreviate just a little more on your backswing, because if I take you backwards and I get you to right here, look how much straighter your arm is. If I take you even farther back, now right here, I've got a completely straight arm. I'm tucked in. So what has to happen from right here, Mark, is that it all has to come from your waist turn, okay? And that's making that level turn with your waist and also with your shoulders, okay? If we can get in a habit of doing that, then we're going to get rid of that little dip that's affecting us as well. You know, like I said, you're at a point where you're making good, consistent contact, but we've got to tweak to make it, to make the improvements so we're going to be a little more consistent, okay? So I'm going to run you through. Here we go. Back, 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 back. So now what we've done, we've gotten back, but if you'll notice in this blue line, your waist turn, we've stopped the waist turn, okay? From here, we're turning, and let me get you all the way back here. Here we're turning. If you look at that waist, right here, we stop turning with the waist. So what we're doing from here on up is we're doing it all with our arms. We're raising our arms instead of staying completely connected. So if I get you to the top, your disconnect is going to come right here, and see where this air, when I look at this green spot right here, there's air into there, the chin is low, and you're going to get a bend. You always are going to get a bend when your chin is low. That's called a hanging chin, and it's going to block that left shoulder from traveling nicely underneath your chin, okay? And allowing you to keep that swing. All right, so when we start to drop down, though, here we go, bring you back down, okay? And we're, okay, I'm going to show you something right here. What I mean by level turn is, let's see, let me get rid of some of this stuff so I can show you. Okay, that's the best one. What I mean by level turn is these shoulders should kind of stay level with your waist turn, all right? And you'll notice that that little dip that we're creating, you're going to see that left shoulder rise and the right shoulder fall, okay? Here I go, step by step, boom, 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 boom. See that left shoulder going toward that line or above that line while the right shoulder is going below it, boom, boom. Now we're really dipping here, okay? Now look how high we are with the left shoulder and how low we are with the right shoulder right here, okay? So that level turn in your waist and in your upper body, we need to correct that, okay? And we'll work on that some more, all right? But when we come into the golf ball, your hand release is beautiful. If I look at this release, this is textbook, okay? I look at that release right there. Your hands are turned over just the right amount. But because we had a little bit of open club at the top, this ball is not going to go dead straight. It's going to go a little to the right. Okay? I'm going to move it forward and show you. And that's all simply because we had that little tuck in our wrist. We buckled our wrist just a little bit as opposed to keeping it a little flat. And you'll notice, as we talked about before, as you're well aware, this is dead center of my setup. And this ball, the trajectory of this ball, if I move it forward and I take a red and continue the ball flight of this ball, it's going to the right here. And you'll notice that because it's going to disappear behind my line. Boom, it's gone behind my line. So I'm exactly where you're going right of the target. And it's because we've had that club face open at the top, and we're just, I mean, the hand release is beautiful. If we'd maintain a square club face, then we'd be in great position here, okay? All right, so take you on through, yeah. So that's a little right, and you're either on the right side of the fairway or the right rough. You're not out of bounds, but you're going to be in the right rough more than likely. And it's because of the shoulder tilt, right? I'm going to draw it in blue. Look at the severe shoulder tilt we have going on here. That's pretty severe. When I'd like to see that a little more level, your waist turn is becoming more level, but we need to get the shoulders to match that, all right? Okay, so some good work. These are the things I want you working on, okay? Take you back, get you set up, get all this crap out of the way. Stay in your knee, beautiful. I need that head to come back just a little more, all right? So we're not blocking with our chin here, and we don't have to bend our arms. Okay, I'm going to send you that picture of Rickie Fowler in the halfway back position. Okay, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, so very good. Very nice work, very good. I think you're making enough consistent contact that at this point, I would like to get your clubs set for you as far as loft and lie to make sure they're exactly bent to the correct specifications for your golf swing at this point. And we can do that by contacting Larry at Kona Golf. He does all of the bending for all of my clients as far as getting their clubs to match their golf swing. And you're going to end up with a lot more accurate golf swing by having those clubs adjusted. And sometimes it's a small tweak, sometimes it may be greater. We're going to determine that by having you hit it off of a hard pan surface and putting impact tape on the very bottom of your club, and we're going to be able to straighten that out. I'd like to do that ASAP. So if you can call Larry at Kona Golf, I apologize right now, I don't have his number in front of me, but you can Google it, Kona Golf, and talk to Larry, tell him Rob sent you, and that we need to make an appointment as far as getting your clubs bent correctly for loft and lie. And I think that's going to straighten out a little bit of our problems. We're going to get a little more consistent. And that's what we're searching for. I mean, you said high 80s. You know, I think we can be in the high 70s or even mid 70s, and maybe even more. Okay? But loft and lie is very important. I don't know if these clubs have been set for you, but I kind of doubt it. From what I'm seeing here, and it's no PGA professional would ever buy something off the rack and try to use it. They get it matching their swing. So that's what I want to do with you next. If you can contact Larry get with me, and we'll set up a time. I'd like to see that done sooner rather than later, so you have those all set up for our on-course lesson, and then we'll take it from there. Again, I thank you for your business. I thank you for your trust. I want to compliment you on the great progress you've made. And for right now, I'm going to wish you a great big one. Aloha.